Up to $70 billion worth of damage. The Northeast is still counting the cost of Superstorm Sandy. The big question is what happens to the muni issuers and investors affected by the destruction? Well, joining me is Richard Larkin. He's Senior Vice President and Director of Credit Analysis at bond underwriting firm H.J. Sims. Well, first off, Dick, the muni market, how has it dealt with disaster in the past?
Well, it's been pretty resilient. The worst case I could say of a natural disaster was New Orleans with Katrina. 1/3 of the population left that city. It was so bad, and yet they eventually recovered. They never missed a debt payment, and they actually had they now enjoy the highest rating they've ever had from Moody's. It went from Baa1 down to junk status during the hurricane, but hook or by crook, between the city's willpower and the state assistance and FEMA and insurance, they got back on their feet and they're doing well and never defaulted on any debt.
So you expect a repeat for New York City, New Jersey, New York
I'm
State?
not worried about New York City. I'm not worried about the state of New Jersey. I'm not worried about LIPA. I'm not worried about the MTA. And I think LIPA and MTA, both Moody's or S&P, put both a negative outlook concerns about the effect of the storm. I'm not worried about the big issuers. I'm worried about the smaller issuers, particularly down the shore on New Jersey. From what I understand, the carnage down there is just horrible, and some cities look like ghost towns. And it's a question of not only if they come back, when they come back.
So, are we likely to see any downgrades at all? And where?
I think possibly in the coastal communities along the Jersey Shore. Moody's and S&P have had concerns about MTA. They may use this as a reason for a downgrade, but frankly, I'm not worried about the MTA. I still told my brokers these are good investments. The same thing with LIPA. They're big boys. They'll get through this.
Well, MTA CFO said he doesn't see the need to issue new bonds. Do you agree, or do you think they'll have to go back to borrow?
Oddly enough, even despite the damage in New Orleans, no new bonds were issued for the repair and the return of the city. It was basically funded from insurance, some state aid, and FEMA money. So it's possible.
So the state is, you mentioned LIPA, you mentioned MTA, but any others, are they possibly facing any downgrades?
New York City right now is not on the list. I know the city was hit bad, but the city is very big, very diverse, very resilient. So the spots that were hit hard, as long as the rest of the city is functioning, the workforce is back generating incomes and taxes, the city should do all right.
But aside from the city side, for MTA, need for new bonds, do you see any issuances?
There might be, not immediately, but there might be some things that perhaps are not covered by FEMA or insurance where there might be some bonding. I wouldn't expect it to be a lot, though, but it's possible.
And who would be issuing the new bonds?
My guess would be possibly the state of New Jersey, because if the shore communities are damaged that bad, New Jersey might have to come to their assistance. And in the past, New Jersey has been very active with their local governments. They have a local government commission. They monitor budgets. They try to make sure that the local credits over in the state are doing very well. They try to keep them in line.
Well, on the New Jersey coast certainly saw a lot of destruction. What about revenue raising for those towns?
Well, they live off the property tax, and a lot of that property tax just drifted out to sea right now. So there's going to be a blip, and that's where I think the state will probably have to step in and give them some kind of aid.
What about reconstruction? Do you see new bond offerings for that?
Possible. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be a lot. I think Mayor Bloomberg at one point said there was like $18 billion of damage. That's probably gone up since then. I don't envision the city having to sell $2 or $3 billion for the reconstruction. I think FEMA money, insurance proceeds probably should cover the bulk of it, but there could be some additional debt. It would be manageable on the city's part. They can handle it.
Dick, what about the need for a new regional infrastructure bank?
I think a lot of people have been talking about something like that for a long time. Right now, they call that the Port Authority. I think it's a good idea, but it's something that you have to get a consensus for.
What about investors? How should they tweak their portfolios? How should they play this event?
Frankly, if, like I said, Moody's or S&P put negative outlooks on LIPA and the MTA, if those prices have come down on those bonds, I think those are opportunities to take advantage of people panicking. The Jersey Shore, there might be opportunities, but you have to look at that as a case-by-case basis. Not every community was hit hard, but they might be all painted with the same brush. So if you can find a community on the shore that looks like it's in good shape, but the bonds are being affected because people are worried it was impacted, you might find some opportunities.
Any particular names?
Not yet. I'm still going through my list.
All right, we talked about opportunities, Dick. What about ones you should avoid?
Well, the New York, New Jersey region right now, everything, despite the recession, everybody's holding tough. There are a couple of communities, cities in New Jersey that are under state oversight, but that's, again, part of the role of the state. They've had financial problems with revenue losses. Budgets have gone awry. The state has an oversight mechanism through the local government commission, and if worse comes to worse, the state can virtually take over a city over there and run the operations till they get back on their feet. So even the troubled cities in New Jersey, I'm not really worried. Those might be opportunities.
All right, 10 seconds left. Overall, would you stay with the larger credits versus the smaller ones?
Yeah, the larger credit's good, smaller credits, case-by-case basis.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dick. Appreciate it. Our thanks to Richard Larkin, Senior Vice President at H.J. Sims. I'm Fred Katayama, and this is Reuters.